Race number 4 from Remington Park in Oklahoma City, as we see the field disappearing there in the top right of the shot, and the horses for the 5th race coming to the paddock to get ready for their event. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the post parade recorded just a couple of minutes ago. The one is Oak Tree Hero, trained by Pedro Hernandez, Toledo. The 2, Jessa Corona Peach, trained by Trey Wood. This filly is eligible for trials for the Oklahoma and Remington Park Futurities. The 3 is RP Jukebox Hero, trained by D. Keener, an Oklahoma Futurity nominated horse. The 4, Isabella Lights, Cosme Velasquez, the trainer. The 5 is Fantastic and Fantastic and Fancy, owned and trained by Casey Willis. The 6, Moon Knight, conditioned by Trey Wood, an Oklahoma Futurity nominee. The 7, PV Lethal Cartel, F. Jimenez, the trainer. Rounding out the field, El Contejo, trained by Haley Hobbs. And that does it for that field. And they are approaching the gate for the 4th training race as we bring in Jim Byers with his comments about this group of horses. Jim?
All right, thanks a lot, Keith. Let's start right out on the inside, as we often do. Oak Tree Hero number 1 is a colt by a stallion named First Timber from Shonda Got a Prize. Now, Shonda Got a Prize's mother, the grandmother of this colt, is First Prize Shonda, and she won the Grade 3 Decada here at Remington Park in 2014 and won $144,000 on the racetrack. We've got a lot of up the pedigree notes here, so you can take those for what they're worth. Jessa Corona Peach, the 2, is from the Trey Wood stable for Terry and Irene Stennett, the powerful owners from Texas. The great-grandmother of Jessa Corona Peach was a little bit rusty, who won 15 races back in the late 80s, early 90s, $215,000, and traveled all over the country from Manor in Texas to Bandera, out to Los Al, places in New Mexico as well. 3, BP Jukebox Hero. The grandmother of this filly is BP She Southern, who was a multiple graded stakes winner in New Mexico, 7-time winner. And the 6, Moon Knight, really interesting here. Trey Wood trainee, like the 2 as well. Moon Knight is a half to Revenant Moon, whom Wood trained to win the 2021 Oklahoma Futurity, which is coming right up. The trial's coming up opening weekend for that historic feature, the longest continuously running futurity in the sport of quarter horse racing, and it's been run here in Oklahoma City since '06. Just a reminder, March 7th is opening night here of the quarter horse meet, the first of our 4-day weeks of racing, which will be the primary schedule with a couple of exceptions, or at least one exception for Easter week. Oak Tree Hero is in. Jessa Corona Peach and BP Jukebox Hero, Isabella Lights. Moon Knight, the half to Revenant Moon. Moon Knight, a $90,000 Ruidoso Select yearling purchase last summer. In the orange, PV Lethal Cartel. The outside gelding is El Conejo, the bunny. And Fantastic and Fancy is the 5. Stepping forward now, of course, these horses, many of them just chronologically turning 2 years of age. Some of them haven't even turned biologically 2. In fact, the outside gelding El Conejo, the bunny, won't turn 2 until May 16th. So they're not necessarily always used to this gate experience, but they're all in line getting set for a start. 250 yards. They're racing. Poor start breaking inward for BP Jukebox Hero, the 3. Fantastic and Fancy, the Casey Willis trainee, and Jessa Corona Peach from Trey Woods' barn. And here's a late bid for Moon Knight, and Moon Knight sweeps up. It's a Trey Wood exacta, if you will. Moon Knight, the half to Revenant Moon over Jessa Corona Peach, and the strong breaking Fantastic and Fancy. So we'll take some looks at that here. See, the 4 missed the break entirely, as well as the 3 breaking inward. Looks like Jessa Corona Peach is going to go on and score it, but look at Moon Knight. That will bode well. We'll see if he debuts in a maiden event or a trial, but if he goes a little bit longer, let's say 300, which I believe is the Oklahoma Futurity distance, that would bode well if he gets a little extra ground in the way he ran here in this spot. Also impressive that Moon Knight, this training race debuter by Kiss My Hawks from Sochi Moon, did it without any real company alongside of him. He's kind of out by himself there, breaking from the 6 hole. So another good Trey Wood performance here, as he had the 3rd race, training race winner as well. Really, wait a minute. Yeah, had a really strong performance in the previous training race as well. I lost my train of thought there for a second. Princess Hadley.
And training races here live from Remington Park is sponsored in part by Westwind Farms of Purcell, Oklahoma. Westwind Farms, breeding winners.